it's Catherine, and today I'm going to share with you just one way how I make my inserts. Now, I've done a bit of prep work. I have a few shapes here already. This is an insert that I've already made, and it did get a certain degree of interest. People wanted to know how I did that, and so why not share, right? Okay, now the first thing you're going to want to do is create the space you're going to want to work in, and you have two options for that. You have half a page or full page. So if you have a traveler's notebook, this would be like the full page and then you'd fold it in half. If you want to work half a page at a time, which is what I usually do, then you want to create that half page, or if you have a ring bound insert, you're going to want to do half page. So first things first, I am going to put my cut lines on, okay? Now, this is just how I do it. I have this snap to the grid, and I know that my little cut lines are going to be, or like guide marks, are going to be perfect because I've done that. And then I'm just going to come over here and move this out of the way, move everything out of the way. And I group it all together, okay? So the point here, that's going to end up being 5.5 inches tall by 7 inches wide, the interior, okay? Now, right now, this won't print. So we need to add a weight. That's good enough. And they're gray. Now I could have left them red. It will print red if you don't change the color. If you add a weight to it, it's going to print. So if you don't want red, just come to the line color and change it. Now my software may look a little different from yours. I do have the designer edition, if you see right here. And I have done an update to my software. However, everything I do here, you can do with the free version, okay? Now, I actually like to work half a page at a time when I'm doing a lined insert. And you'll see why in a minute. Now, I actually like to, I like to turn off Snap to Grid, and I will share why. Let's duplicate this. Okay. The reason for that is now I can kind of place these anywhere I want, whereas when it's snapped to the grid, it's going to have to be 1/4 inch away. If I'm not mistaken, I think you can actually alter how far away these things are, but I just can't be bothered to do that. So I just come here and I duplicate this as many times as I think I'm going to need. I could go down to the replicate window and just have it drop 4 and then, you know, keep going, but I kind of just like to fiddle with it. This is just me. Okay, now this is called transform now, but this was the align window. Okay, that's what it used to be called. All right, these are too far apart for my liking, so we're going to duplicate it. We're going to add 3 more lines. Then I'm going to highlight all of them, and we're going to space them vertically. Do you see that? So I'll just kind of keep going until I like the spacing on it. And I'm thinking maybe just 1 more will be sufficient. And this is all personal preference. If you want just 4 lines on there, go ahead. You know, it's what you want and what you feel is going to work best for you. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So I am going to group these together, and then let's center the whole thing to the page. I want it moved down more. Again, this is all just, it's personal preference. It really is. Okay, and I like that. Now I had made these lines prior to getting started. Or I had made the initial line, and I did it just the same way I did this. I went and I added a weight to it so these will print. Now, why I choose to do this as half a page is, one, you can center the lines. If you do a full page, you might be better off just doing lines straight across the page. You can put a space in there and then, have them be perfectly even. It can be done, but it's kind of a pain in the neck. So I don't like to do it. Again, just me. You do what you want to do. And at this point, you have choices. Okay, you can, let me just make sure that this is behind it. That should work. Now, see, you can fill it with color, you can leave it white, or you can add pattern. For this one, I used digital paper. I want to say that was from the September Little Bits box. But I think we're going to just do color. Let's see. I think that will go nicely with these. And if you want to change it up a little bit, you can just increase the transparency and it'll make it a little bit paler so that you can still have the pretty colored background, but you're not going to have that background compete with your writing. So let's see here. First thing I'm going to do is go to the replicate window and I'm going to group these so that everything stays together. And now if you haven't added any artwork, you can come right over here to either duplicate or mirror. It really doesn't make a difference. I'm just going to hit duplicate and then group. I am going to center it to the page. As you can see, it now is perfectly aligned with these. And even though I left those where they were, because I grouped them all together and I created them while it was snapped to the grid, they will go back. Center. There you go. See? So then I just take my cute little designs and see that? It's going to go behind it. So we're just going to hit bring to front. Ta-da! Okay. And I think she looks pretty good over there. Do this for like a reading list. Oops. My finger got stuck on there. Okay, and then let's see. I don't know. Right there is good. And then you hit the group. How I like to do this for printing is I will turn it so that it's lengthwise. Is that vertical? Okay, so I will change it like this because I just feel like it's easier with my particular stapler. I have a long arm stapler and I have like markers on it set to a certain point, so it will just go straight to the middle of the page. This is centered to the page and I don't have to worry. Depending on the size of insert you're doing, you may wish to move it. You might need it to go the other way. I like it like this. So then I'd hit print and, for my printer, I'd have to flip it around and print on the other side to have it double-sided. But yeah, that's literally all there is to it. I staple in the middle. You could also sew it. I think I have a video on my channel showing you how to bind notebooks like that. But yeah, and then I just trim the edges. I like to trim them after it's bound because eventually you'll kind of get close to the design. So when you're making them yourself, you can kind of keep that in mind and maybe move it over a little bit, but you'll get that beautiful even line if you trim it after you've stapled and folded. Okay, so I hope that helped you guys. If you were wondering how I do it, if you want to see like a different type of insert, just let me know. Questions and comments are always welcome. And thank you guys for watching. All right.